the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120.
Oh, what?
Prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency?
Oh, my gosh, look at his face.
Look at him.
He looks scared to death.
What I was left when I became president. And what Mr. Trump left me.
Oh, boy.
We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying.
Trump's like, okay.
Serious.
This is kind of sad already. I'm not even saying that, yeah.
The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible.
Dude.
And so what we had to do is try
this is a humiliation ritual.
Again.
Oh, this is
I can't.
bad.
I'm
what we began to do.
Legit, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
15,000 new jobs. We brought out.
Oh my God.
Oh, gosh.
Where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, but there's more to be done.
Just listening.
There's more to be done.
Blinking really
Working-class
rapidly every time
people
he
are
clears
still
his
in trouble.
throat.
I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
RFK Jr. sounds better than this.
Where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to get during the month, it was a problem.
He's lost his voice.
Gas, the price of housing, the price.
The number one issue, according to Gallup,
that's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal
poor
with
leadership in government. It is Joe Biden's.
Sure that we reduce the price of housing.
How's he going to get through this?
I feel kind of bad for Biden. I'm not just saying that. This is bad.
Cap rents.
I didn't think he was going to start off as bad.
Either. The combination, what I was left with the corporate greed is the reason why we're in this
He's got a lot of stuff in his forehead.
In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is we're going to make
He's
that
lost
available to
already.
everybody.
I mean, there's no way. You don't get out of this.
We're working to bring down the price.
We're going right to Twitter.
The kitchen table.
This might be the medical emergency they were talking about.
President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Tone of voice is so different.
We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never
so many other
credit
things
for, and we should have, is getting us out of that
fact
COVID
check true.
mess. He created mandates that was.
He didn't go down any of the wormholes or distraction things that he often does. This is actually really concise and good.
The stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, a bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
He's taking notes.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else
what?
Thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And,
Again, telling people you're not hurting when they're hurting is not going to work.
But fact check true. America's top economy, global economy.
His economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion.
And look what it did to the economy, though.
It has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea he did something that was significant. And the military, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that.
He left all the guns there. What?
I can't believe he brought up Afghanistan after the botched pullout.
They let the Taliban win. I mean,
the truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any.
How are we doing an hour and a half of this?
None of this.
Hold on, what?
Troops dying anywhere in the world.
What?
He did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
You want to respond to him?
Trump has to respond.
Follow up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. Yeah. And then it blew up under his leadership because he spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst.
The boom in the economy is what kept the inflation at bay.
And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far,
January, it was 1.4%. January 21, fact check.
New debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because that's how you manage inflation.
We're the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that.
If Trump keeps talking like this, who cares?
With much less tax,
Biden's
companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country.
So much better, but he's also his like demeanor's down.
Like
he's totally chill. Trump, he's
paying down debt. We're ready
presidential. He's not throwing bombs
right under our feet.
He's not gripping the podium.
I read it from experts and historians that this no audience thing was going to hurt Trump really bad.
We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job.
That was
and I will
perfect.
tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer.
I don't even know this guy.
They don't.
I was going to say, we're winning spillover. It's
amazing. They don't
amazing.
respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country. And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden,
look at Joe Biden, looks scared.
Wow. Horrible.
About the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president.
His voice is destroying.
What's Harry Sasson saying about this? This is the best he's ever looked?
Benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? We're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24% or 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out.
He needs to stop doing math.
Help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system.
Guys,
making sure
people don't remember what you tell them; they remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Biden's rasping is all that matters right now. This is apocalyptic for his campaign.
COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Makes me kind of like
holy.
Look,
if Medicare.
Thank you, President.
How are they going to spin this? I mean,
and he's destroying Medicare because All of these.
I'm starting to feel sad, man.
No.
Yeah, I was feeling that way.
Nope. Hammer down. Get them.
No, Phil's right.
Get them.
Phil's right.
Get
Phil's
them.
right. These
Phil's
people are
next.
evil.
Absolutely.
These people are evil.
Millions and
Phil's next
millions
single, get them.
Get them.
They're trying to put
Here we go.
them on Social Security. He will wipe
told you
out
the name.
Trump is
Social
calm,
Security.
collected,
He
and
will wipe
firm.
out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished.
Look how hard Joe Biden's
It's a
breathing.
shame.
Look at his chest
What's
going up and
happened to
down.
our
You can
country
tell.
I mean,
in the last 4 years
not gonna
is
last.
not to be believed.
Well, I can't wait to see
I'm
what
friends with a lot of people.
the polls look like tomorrow and the day
Hassan said
after.
this is already going terrible for
We're no
Trump.
longer
Who did?
respected.
Harry
They don't
Hassan.
like us.
This is already
We
a
give them
catastrophe for
every
Does he know
Trump.
which one Trump is and which one Biden is?
no. People, what we're doing for other countries, and
Also,
they do
Trump
nothing for
avoiding
us.
the fact that
What this
Biden is
man
so
has
terrible
done
is interesting.
Is
good.
absolutely
I wonder if he's going
criminal.
to zero in on that at some point, or
Thank
just
you,
leave it be
President
for
Trump.
us.
What this man has done is
This is
absolutely
the
criminal.
first
I like
president.
that.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe, and we'll see you all there.